Hi, friends, and welcome to Lessons on Dealing with Rejection from a Stripper. Thank you. Now, you might be thinking, wrongly, that strippers always get yeses and people lust over them and people are like obsessed with them and yada yada yada. Yes, we do get those. That's how we get paid. However, it will take us 20 to 30 men that we speak to in a night in order to get that one single being. Because let's be realistic, everyone that works in those kind of clubs have big tits, small waist, fat ass, 10 out of 10 face, IG model, normal model, runway, Vogue, everything like that. The girls that work in strip clubs are like angels fallen from the sky. So you're competing against them. So not every man that walks in is going to lust over you because you have competition and you won't be everyone's type. We strippers probably deal with the most amount of rejection out of anyone. Okay, we're like salespeople, but we're not selling items. We are selling ourselves. Took some learning curves from me to not get affected by it. And this is what I'm going to teach you today. Sorry, I'm in a different pose. Hello. Know that it's normal to get no's. Know that it's a normal way of life and like accept it and embrace it. And every time you get a no, it's a step closer to getting a yes. And remember that every time you do get a no, you need to get 100 of them before you get a yes. And every time you get a no, just say, okay, I'm one step closer to my yes. Because for a long time, I dealt with perfectionism and like expecting to get the best, the most, to get like £1,000 from the first customer I spoke to. That's not realistic at all. And the more you believe that, the more you'll get hurt every time you get a no, and the more no's you're likely to get because you're gonna subconsciously manifest it. So every time you get a no, celebrate it. Turn it into something else in your head. Turn it into a sight to behold instead of something that you should be shameful of and like upset over, because that's not going to help anyone. You're just going to lose on, well, money in my case, but your mental health, your brain space, because you're going to get anxious. You're just going to spiral out. Turn those into blessings, well and truly, because next time you get a no, you're going to be happy because you'll know that you're one step closer to getting that yes. That's how I started thinking about my failed relationships, and it's made me feel so much happier. Every time that my situationship or relationship didn't work out, I was like, okay, that means that I've learned a lesson. That means that it wasn't for me, and I'm one step closer to getting my perfect partner. I'm one step closer to learning what is exactly aligned to me and what I need. And every no, take it as a lesson so that soon you're going to hit gold, you know? And apparently I was right, because I am now with the most amazing partner ever. And I'm so happy with him and literally love him. We got matching tattoos, for crying out loud. Why? Because every time I got rejected or my situationship, relationship, whatever failed, I didn't dwell on it. I didn't sulk over it. I was like, thank God I'm one step closer to where I'm supposed to be. Because failure is a natural progress to change. Failure is what you need to get where you want. Without failure, you'll never get there. So learn to appreciate it and reprogram it in your mind. Period. Now, what to do when you get rejected the first time. Say you approach a guy or girl or anyone and you chirps them up and they don't seem interested in you, and or even like rejection from a job or rejection from anywhere. The first thing that it's going to do to you is going to put your mood down, because you're going to take it personally and you're going to be affected by it, and you're going to start thinking all sorts of negative things. Is it because my teeth ain't white enough? Is it because I'm smelly? Is it because something else has happened? And you're going to have to look at those little voices, bring yourself to a mirror, look yourself in the eye and say, that's bullshit. I'm fucking perfect. That was just the wrong person. And you really have to put that little voice in a box and just look yourself up and down and start cheering yourself on. That's what I do all the time. The reason why I'm so cocky and big-headed and I always chat myself up is because of that. I need to have that mentality all the time so that when I do get rejected, I can remind myself of my bigger voice, the voice that's in me most of the time. Because most of the time, I'll look at myself in the mirror and say, fit, 10 out of 10, banging. So you always have to remind yourself of all the positives. Whenever you get that little niggling feeling that you feel wrong or you look wrong or it's because of you, you have to remind yourself, I'm beautiful. And I know it sounds so basic, but you have to know that when you are faced with rejection, the stronger voice that you have inside of you is the voice that's telling you, I am better than this. They're just not for me. It's nothing to do with me. It's to do with them. Maybe they prefer a curvier girl. Maybe they're an asshole. And your positive aura is the thing that threw them off. Make sure that you don't blame it on yourself. And if you have to be delusional, be delusional. I was delusional in that period. And it worked out so well for me because when I approached people with confidence, I was less likely to get a no. Whereas when I listened to that other voice in my head that was super negative and telling me how like it's because of this, that, or the other that I did or look like, that's when I got more no's. The more times that I shut that negative emotion down and literally squared up to her, to that other part of me, and still came back out with confidence, that's when I was more likely to get a yes. For example, there is 10 men that you need to approach, right? You work your way around the room. And if I had and listened to the negative voice subconsciously, I would act differently when I approached them. I would act less confident, like I didn't deserve for that yes, because that's what my subconscious was telling me. So I was acting like that without even realizing it. I thought I was smiling, I was putting on my best show, but deep down I knew that I was faking it. And out of those 10 men, I would get 10 no's. But if I took a minute to compose myself, and if I needed to compose myself, bring myself into the changing room, look at myself and say, no, I'm the shit. I'd walk back out, I'd speak to 3 more men, and on the 4th, I'd get the yes. And you always constantly have to be like that and repeat your behavior. No matter what happens, listen to the bigger voice that I'm better than this. If you get a no and it knocks you over and you can't talk yourself out of it, stop. Just stop, leave, focus on something else, like something completely different. Go hang out with your friends. Focus on something different and exercise. Please exercise. It helps you so much. Smell the flowers, get a coffee, whatever. Give your brain something else to think about so that you put a pause and a break in the negative self-talk. Get invested in whatever your hobby is, something that takes over everything that you're thinking about when you do it. Do that. Do that and then come back to the problem. And again, remind yourself who you truly are. Because I know it's impossible to get out of those thoughts sometimes, but you gotta persevere and you just give yourself a break. Focus on something else. Try again. Choose who you hang out with. Believe me. Because the way it works in a club is the girls who are not dancing, therefore not getting paid, are usually the girls who are gonna be, what's the word? Roomification. I think the word is roomifaking. I don't know. Anyway, if you get a no and then you go to other people who keep getting no's, you're all just going to sit together and ruminate in your negative feelings. And you're going to just speak to each other like, oh, this is shit. Oh, am I doing something wrong? Oh, is there something wrong with me? And like, oh my God, this is going bad and this is going back. Stop and leave. If you have to get different friends, get different friends. I don't care. If you have to move the country, because those people are not going to help you at all, I promise you. Whenever I was experiencing a negative streak of getting no's, which by the way impacts my actual finances, because if I'm not getting a yes, I'm not getting food, I'm not paying my bills. So you really have to be consistent in what you say to yourself, how you deal with it, and just know how to get yourself out of those emotions. Leave those people behind at any cost, I promise you, because you might think, oh, we're just complaining together and it'll relieve how we're feeling at it. No, you'll just dwell in the negativity, it'll spiral you out and it'll get so much worse and you'll start believing that as being true. don't do it. Leave. Envision yourself being in the right place at the right time, because you have to realize and understand that no is just redirection, because you are not meant to be there and you were not meant to be with that person. If you have to lie to yourself and say that if I were to get a yes from that place, the building would burn down, do it. Do it. Because maybe that is the case. Rejection is redirection. Rejection is protection. And if you have to lie to yourself about it, do it. I don't care, do it. Because it'll help you stay positive. And I truly, truly believe that you get aligned with the right people at the right time for the right reasons. So if you get rejected, it's for the good. That's it. Call me delusional, I don't care. It's the truth. And finally, just feel good. Do things that make you feel good. Think thoughts that make you feel good. Try to mean them, try to feel them, because I've been super anxious in my head sometimes, and if I try to imagine how everything is good and everything is fine, whatever, I didn't feel it, I didn't mean it, and things were still bad. Stop, reconcentrate, and do something completely different that makes you feel like everything is good and everything is going right. And once you're in that emotion, then apply for the job, then speak to that person, because you are going to be energetically aligned and matched to that opportunity or that person. So go be happy before you make the application. And if you get rejected, know it's for the better good. And also, what we used to do, some of us girls, we would do mantras, and we would get together a group of girls and like hold hands in a little circle. Even if it's just the two of you, do it together. That's why, again, you need to be around the right people. And just say to each other, we're gonna get yeses. We're gonna get, what's the opposite of rejected? We're gonna get approved? I don't know. We're gonna get everything that we're desiring. And the energy is positive, and it's going to be super easy, and really feel that energy together. Then go out and you'll feel it, and things will happen. Things will happen for you, I promise you. And if you do get rejected, know it's for the best. Period. And please just don't dwell on it. The minute that you do, that's when everything spirals out. I hope this was helpful. I hope you have enjoyed me rambling and yapping yet again. Yeah, if you enjoyed this kind of video, like and subscribe. If you watched to the end, you're amazing. God bless you. And hopefully I'll see you again next week. Bye bye.